Well, up in the ring, we have an assemblage of people, so let's pick up Boyd Pierce so we can distinguish one from another.
This event, 2 out of 3 falls, 1 hour time limit. Returning to Houston in the blue corner with his stretcher at 300 pounds with the Ox Baker carry-out service from Waterloo, Iowa, Ox Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, at 230 pounds, the man who has proved to all and says he's the #1 wrestler in Houston, and he wants to thank everybody in Houston that contributed in any way for these 3 massive trophies. Here he is, Gino Hernandez. Your referee, Bronco Luby.
So Ox Baker, with the tools of his trade, the carry-out process of the stretcher, we have, there it is, Ox Baker's carry-out service. And there is no question that he can put people on that stretcher. He has put a lot of them on in his career, including world's champion Harley Race, whose pride got the better of him and he rolled off of it the moment he felt himself about to be lifted out and carried out of the ring. Big Ox Baker, a man who can really lay it in there with that bulk of his, with that massive style of his. Look at that man. How would you like to meet him in a dark alley or in the ring or any place else? I'll tell you, he is in some ways the most fearsome of individuals when it comes to just facing him. And then when he opens his mouth with that gravel voice of his, he sounds off in a way that really adds to his ferocious appearance. Gino Hernandez trying to apply an arm lock to the huge arm of Ox Baker. And Baker lowers the boom, and Gino's fans gasp just a little, even as Gino gasped. Gino Hernandez now trying to knock the block off of Ox Baker. And that's Ox's reaction. The reaction that brings a quick roar from the crowd as Gino makes a quick reaction that gets him out of the line of fire. Hernandez looking for a smooth way in, but he's got to face Ox when he gets in there, so can be nothing smooth about that. Hammerlock for the Ox. And the Ox takes that arm and maneuvers it up behind the back of Gino Hernandez. How far does an arm have to go up behind the back before it hurts? All depends on the individual. And the Ox here likes better to batter a man down and then go after him rather than the process of wearing him down hold by hold. So outside it's Gino. Same walk he took a few moments ago, maneuvering around here to step back in that ring. And Ox Baker with a display of power as he catches Gino with the leverage of the hand and then swings it around and makes trouble for him. Hammerlock and a half Nelson to add to the hammerlock. And Gino with that long leg of his is trying to get the referee to do what he's not able to do, and that is to get out of the hold. Getting out of the hold is the tough job. Bear hug for Ox Baker. Gino may be doing the pressing, trying to get him back into the rope so he could break the hold, and he did. And you could see that he was ready. And oh, man. I'll tell you, when this guy reaches for the sky and comes off, he comes off in a big way. And there he is again, scooping him up and putting the big squeeze on him. So it's Baker with a bear hug, managing to roust Gino around. And Gino trying, well, he gave up trying to pop him in the whiskers and went for the place that even an ox can't raise muscles, and that's in the eyes. 5 minutes have gone by, and Gino starts to slam away at big Ox Baker, laying it in there with a vengeance. And Ox, almost to the point of saying, well, I've taken enough of that stuff from you, gives it back to him. The grip is on the trapezius muscle. He sinks those fingers in there and tries to find tender territory. Gino grabbing the trunks, using his head, driving his head into Ox's midsection, trying his best to dent big Ox Baker. And Gino now is making some effective headway with that elbow of his. Clobbered him right smack in the jaw. And the Ox looks for an immovable spot into which to pound Gino Hernandez. He found it. And again, that southpaw smash, but Baker is not a southpaw. Usually when he, I should say he is a southpaw, but he wrestles ambidextrously in that he will be able to use that right just as effectively. But when he delivers his heart punch, he likes to drive it in there with the with that left hand. He wears a bandage on that left hand to strengthen that fist. And Gino back elbowed him in the whiskers. And this time he clotheslined him. He caught him underneath that chin and up against the throat, and we could have a fall. Gino's on top. We've got a fall. So the first fall of this match.
The winner of the first fall, 7 minutes, 27 seconds, Gino Hernandez.
And the man who lays claim to be #1 in Houston is right now unable to stand up there straight and do any strutting. He's having his problems. But we'll be back here in a moment after we have this word from the studio.
Yeah.
So with 10 seconds left in this rest period, Ox Baker catches one in the back from Gino Hernandez, who has been haunting him with attack during the brief intermission, 2 minutes between falls. But Ox Baker up on his feet now, and that back still bothering him. The effort of Hernandez thwarted now by Ox Baker and the top rope. So Ox got him where he couldn't wallop him. And as Ox comes in, he again comes back with that driving arm of his. He slashed him across the throat, and the slam again, and The 300 pounds of the Ox manages to put the stopper to Gino Hernandez. Twisting chin lock. You see him now as he turns that chin and puts the pressure on the top of the head to lean on it and to get it off axis. And that's when you can really punish a man's neck. Gino come up that time and jabbed at the eye of Oxbaker. He hit out there with that hand of his with that thumb stuck out in front and caught him. Ox is in trouble. And as Gino tries to follow up his advantage, you can see that his blows have always found the Ox, but there's so much of the Ox it's hard to miss. Here's Gino looking for he's looking for it, but he didn't find it. Ox started to maneuver out of that position, but quickly. And here we've got Gino Hernandez moving in to capitalize on it, and instead he was beaten to the punch by Oxbaker, who dropped it across there. The crowd says, yes, give him another one. And again, he slips him another one. There's a fall, and the fall goes
the winner of
to
the second
Oxbaker.
fall, 2 minutes, 24 seconds, Oxbaker.
The Ox did it. And Gino Hernandez lies on the canvas now, and we will, as Bronco Lubitsch looks at him, you can detect that there is a possibility that he may not return for the third and deciding fall. Let's pause now for this word from the studio, even as Oxbaker paused before he delivered that foot. We'll be back here in a moment. Well, a few seconds, the bell will ring, and you can see that Oxbaker is ready. There's the bell, and Gino Hernandez wants to offer him a peace pact. That outstretched hand is hidden by Oxbaker, but you can see the pleading gestures of Gino Hernandez, but Ox decides to make better use of the hand than to shake it. So Ox moves in now with a little more confidence. Falls are even. This is the third and deciding fall of this battle, as Oxbaker not only took that foot and put a stop to the kick, but decided that he had a few left over that he hadn't given him in the first and second fall, and he's applying that kind of punishment right now. Ox is a difficult man to wrestle. Difficult. He is so big that ordinary things don't work on him, and when you manage to upset him, you have to attribute some of it to good luck and some of it to whatever skills you may have employed. So the Ox starts to wear down Gino Hernandez. There is a vast difference in size in these two people, but they are both heavyweights, and the 100-pound difference in their competitive weight is not considered a barrier to either man. So as Gino headbutted his way out of trouble, you can see him now following it up to good advantage. Outside, the Ox, and Ox just got a bright idea, but I can't say that I agree with it. So Oxbaker doing the pounding on the outside. And Gino Hernandez lands on the floor on the outside of the ring right here behind us. A little bit the worse for wear for having crashed into our chair. And not enough the worse for wear for having. But now he's able to cause trouble to Ox Baker, and oh man, the driving handle of that stretcher struck Ox Baker and had to have some effect on him for sure. Here is Baker going to deliver he went in there to deliver the punch. It didn't quite work out, and Gino Hernandez, who recently won one unpopular match with his feet on the ropes, has now put his foot in it again and literally climbed up on the rope so that he could force the shoulders of Ox Baker down to the canvas. Danny McShane in the ring. Danny McShane pointing out what happened, and Rocco Lubish trying to ascertain what happened, and Gino Hernandez is admitting nothing. We've got two referees in the ring. There's a call for the bell, and Ox Baker. We've got the match going on here, but the match has been awarded to the
Rocco Lubish has reversed the decision and give the victory to Ox Baker.
So Ox Baker, on a reverse decision, takes it over Gino Hernandez in the third fall, and that's still that left hand that he drove into that turnbuckle. We'll be back with you in a moment after this word from the studio.